You're watching Ladies in the Locker Room. What's going on, everybody? I jam on that song every time it comes on. I love that. And of course, music is by my son, Mr. Rayvon Lemon. And that's just so funky, I can't help it. Anyway, I've got a lot to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Ladies in the Locker Room. Don't forget, share this with a friend. Share it with a sports friend. Share it with a lady who wants to learn about sports. Share it with some kids that want to learn about sports. Today, we've got sports history. We've got sports facts. We've got sports. And okay, let's get started. Let's just jump right on into this right here. So, I have let's get ready. Yep. So, as you all know, the Pro Bowl is coming up this week, as a matter of fact, this weekend. In the Pro Bowl, everybody knows about the Pro Bowl game. Now, I have a question. I want everyone to please send me a message. Don't you think the Pro Bowl should come after the Super Bowl, or keep it before the Super Bowl? Now, my problem with keeping it before the Super Bowl is the pros never play. So send me a message on ladiesinthelockroom.com. What you guys didn't know is there are a lot of other games that happen other than just the big game on Sunday. Okay, so they have the Epic Bowl, which is a dodgeball game, a tournament of classic dodgeball featuring teams of 5 players that begins with offense and the defenses from both conferences. Now, dodgeball, somebody gonna get their behind popped with that ball. If you know, like I know how dodgeball works. Then there's the lightning round. This new this year. Each conference will select 16 players to compete in a 3-part elimination challenge. This will leave one player left that ends and earns 3 points for his conference in the first round. Lightning round. Splash, catch, teammates pairing up with the conference will toss water balloons back and forth, increasing distances in each tandem that completes. The team that completes all of advances to the next round. The longest drive. 4 players from each conference will compete in a challenge with golf for the furthest distance of each tee. Each player will get 3 swings, and we'll see who can play. They always like to play golf. Precision passing. This is presented by EA Sports and Madden NFL 23. Each conference of 3 quarterbacks, of course, you know what they're going to do. They're going to compete who can throw the furthest and the most accurate and all of that. Now, all of these games happen before Sunday. Best Catch, presented by Uber Eats. The first round, 2 players with each conference will compete in the Best Catch competition, which they're going to see creativity and the talent from Tuesday's play, their showcase. So now, what's going to happen with this is the players will um, there'll be videos played, and then there'll also be live catches. So, throughout the season, and Odell Beckham, hey, we're sorry you're not in there. We know Odell has one of the most prolific catches that's always shown. And too bad he's not in there. But there'll be videos of catches from the game, but they'll also be on the field and they'll be throwing. And then they'll vote from the videos, and then the finals on Sunday. Let's see here with the Gridiron Gauntlet, a side-by-side relay race showcasing strength, speed, and agility. Now, if you got to run side by side in a bag or whatever, that's a trick. So, kick tack toe. Each team's kicker, punter, and long snapper competes in a giant tic-tac-toe competition to showcase their respective skills. In the first team to compete a connecting line of 3 squares or hit 5 squares total will be declared the winner and earn 3 points for his conference. Move the chains. 4 teams Four teams, two teams from each conference will compete side by side in a weight wall pull. Okay, you know what that is. You know what they're going to be doing there. Uh, that will showcase their strength, speed, uh, ingenuity. And each team of five players is responsible uh, to pull a wall loaded up with heavy weights 10 yards as quickly as possible using first down chains to the winner of the best of the three playoffs will each three will win 3 points again for their conference. So each time they participate in the game they win another 3 points, another 3 points. We'll be right back. We're going to take our first commercial break for that right there. And because I have a couple of little tongue twisters over there. So I'll be right back.
Hello, guys. My name is Gloria. I am an instructor at LA Fitness Atlantic Station. I teach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Saturdays we hike. We go to a different location. Our classes are 5:45 at Atlantic Station. There's kickboxing, there's body work, there's power circuit, everything you can imagine. And then we hike. We hike Kennesaw, Stone Mountain, the Palisades. We go everywhere. Come out and join us. Find out what your mission is and have fun while you do it. You can find me on Facebook, Gloria Jackson, and I want you to have fun while you get fit. Come join me.
All right, that was Miss Gloria Sunshine Jackson. If you're looking to get fit, it is a new year. You might want to jump in there. All right, so you know what happens after the Pro Bowl? It's the Super Bowl, which is going to be in Arizona this year, and I'm looking forward to that as well. The Super Bowl. There's a lot going on this year, a lot of hype around the Super Bowl because, of course, this is going to be um, record breaking, history making Super Bowl with two of the most awesome quarterbacks competing this year against each other. Now, but before that happened, what there was another quarterback that did it before them. Now look at that. That's beautiful out there in Arizona. You know what? I want to get out there. Does anybody know what the weather's going to be like? I'm going to have to check that out. All right. So before there back in the day when people watched football it was always said that blacks couldn't be a quarterback because they weren't smart enough, they couldn't lead the team, and so they weren't selected. And if even if you played quarterback in college they would move you to wide receiver or something else by the time you got to the pros. And they just didn't have faith that young black men was able to lead a team. But did you know that 35 years ago, I believe it was, his name is Mr. Doug Williams. Doug Williams was the first African American quarterback to play in a Super Bowl. And again, no one thought he would make it. They didn't even think he would get there. And Mr. Doug Williams made history. He actually got there and he won the Super Bowl. So Doug Williams is the first African American quarterback to play in a Super Bowl and also the first one to win a Super Bowl. And Doug says that it was just life changing. And even to this day, he says that if someone sees him anywhere, they will always say, wow, that was Doug Williams, the first black quarterback. Now, as you can see, we have two more black quarterbacks. And that's going to be really exciting. These two gentlemen, of course, this season has just really, really, really been a phenomenal season for both of them. You've got Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick, we know, has been to the Super Bowl before. This is Jalen's first time, but I followed Jalen's college career, and he's been, he has really exceeded expectations as a young quarterback coming into the NFL. And of course, Patrick. Patrick has been doing this thing for a while, and everyone knows what he's capable of, and he's been able to show it. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing these two young quarterbacks go toe to toe, go head to head in the in the Super Bowl in Arizona. Now, I also want you to hit me up, let me know who do you think's going to win. I got to get your picks. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Jalen or is it going to be Patrick? Hit me up on ladies in the locker room at gmail.com. That's ladies in the locker room at gmail.com. Hit me up and let me know who do you think is going to be the winner of the Super Bowl this year. And again, we're making history. Now, Patrick was one of the other quarterbacks. So he's not the first black one, but he's been there before. So if he wins, he will be the first black quarterback to win two Super Bowls if Patrick Mahomes wins. Um, and then they're both very young, 24, 25 years old. So they will be young quarterbacks winning the Super Bowl as well. So we're gonna have to keep up with this. They're both very exciting players, both very electrifying players. They both run, they both pass very well, and they both have very strong teams supporting them and behind them. So it's going to be. I mean, we've had some blowout games this year, but I don't think this is going to be one of those games. I think this is going to be a good fight to the finish. I think these two young guns are going to come out blazing. And that's exactly what we're going to see, blazing guns between these two young men. And I'm excited and I can't wait to see it. Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurst. Let's see what's going to happen. Again, now Philly even has a fight song. It's so funny. If you've ever been to a game with any Philly fans, they have a whole theme song that they like to sing, and they rowdy. Yeah, I said rowdy. Philly fans are rowdy. I want to tell you, I don't know what the temperature is in Arizona, but Philly fans are rowdy. So I want to see if they're going to get out there and if they're going to be able to get out there and be rowdy and all of that cold. I'm just curious, just curious to see, just curious, Philly, because I know how y'all act. I've been, coming from New York. I was a huge New York Giants fan, and Philly and New York have always had a rivalry, and I've gone to the games. I've gone down to Philly to the game. And the last Super Bowl that Philly was in, I was at that Super Bowl. And again, like I told you, they really, really are rowdies. But Jalen, I love Jalen. Like I said, I followed his career through college, and I like what I've seen in this young man so far. And Patrick Mahomes has been the man since he got the position in Kansas City. And I got to say, what's up to my friends from Kansas, the Shoemates. Um, and then God bless, and I want to see a heavenly shout out to Papa Shu called the Kansas City uh the Rudy Poots. The old Rudy Poots did it again, Papa Shu. So I just want to make sure I give a shout out to Papa Shu. May his soul rest in peace. We lost him last year, but he was a huge fan of Kansas City. And like I said, they had a nickname, the Rudy Poots. Now, the other thing are the brothers. This will be the first time two brothers are squaring off. And I wonder how the mom deals with that. Who do you root for, mom? You've got two brothers in the Super Bowl. And I wonder, does mom or dad really have a favorite team? I mean, I'm just saying. So, these two brothers are going to square off against each other in the Super Bowl, the Kelsey brothers. And that's going to be awesome to see as well. But I'd love to listen, Kelsey family, where you guys watching the game? I want to come watch the game with the Kelsey family because I want to see who's rooting for who. How do you do it? You're shouting on offense, you're shouting on defense. You're always going to be shouting through the whole game. But it's going to be interesting to see the two brothers. And of course, one's on offense and one's on defense. So even that's going to be interesting to watch. But I still want to know these brothers from out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and two of them in the NFL, like I said, from the Nasty Natty. I would love to come watch the game with you guys because I just want to know who's really rooting for who. Ah, I don't know. I just think that there's going to be a little something going on there. And look at them. Look at those guys. Mom, hit me up. Ladies in the locker room, I want to know your secret. Dad, I wonder, is the family divided? Or do you do just root for everybody? I mean, I do that now. It's hard for me to pick a team. But you tell me, ladies in the locker room, who will win? I'm curious to know. We'll have to see. We'll be back after this next commercial break. Yeah, now that's another commercial. When I see that one, I get hungry. And you would too. I had to say, what's up to my seafood guys? That food looks amazing. It really, really does. All right, so we're going to get on. We're going to find out who win. Send me a message, ladies in the locker room at gmail.com, ladies in the locker room. So we want to say congratulations. There's a congratulations in order. uh, D'Amico Ryans of the 49ers has been named the new head coach of the Texans. And it's been said that when he came into the NFL, the coaches and the staff recognized his leadership even back then when he was a player. So they said even then he would rally the players up, get those guys in order, and get them ready for the big game. So it's been said that even when he was a player, he was already a coach. So as far as I can tell, they're saying he was destined to be a coach, and now he is. He's going to be coaching those Texans, and we're rooting for you. Want to see you get out there, do a good job, and have fun, as we've watched you do, of course, as a defensive coordinator with the 49ers. Sorry, 49ers, that's your loss because he did a great job with you guys. But we're proud of him. We're happy for him. Let's root him on and get a chance to watch D'Amico Ryan's head coach. And he got a great deal, too. He'll get enough time to really get in there and develop his team. That's the other thing about getting a coaching job. And if you don't get a good enough contract and enough time to really build and develop your team, um, that could be a problem as well. But I gave him a good contract. So I'm really looking for what he's going to be able to bring to the table with his group of guys. That's going to be pretty awesome. So congratulations, D'Amico and Mr. Ryans. And we want to, really want to send you out as much love and support as possible. We're going to be watching, and you just have fun. Continue to have fun. And that's what we've seen in the past. You just have fun doing it. So now we're gonna move on to some other news. There's a lot of other things going on. So let's see what's going down in our hometown. Again, I'm jamming to my son's music. All right, what's going on in our hometown? Of course, I'm down here in Atlanta, Georgia. And so I'm going to talk about what's going on with our Atlanta teams. First up is our Atlanta Hawks. The NBA conference standings have the Atlanta Hawks sitting in eighth place with 25 wins and 26 losses. Now, the Hawks are looking good. I'm sorry. Trey Young has been looking good. but there's also been some trade rumors. We'll see what happens. Now, the NBA trade deadline is on Thursday, February the 9th, and many teams seem to be interested in Hawks player Bogdan Bogdanovich. But the Hawks don't seem to appear inclined to be ready to move the 30-year-old, who's averaging 15.4 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 3.1 assists per game, and is one of their best three-point shooters at 36.7%. Now, I guess you guys would want one of our good players, but it doesn't appear that the Hawks are trying to get rid of him or anything like that. Now, there's also been rumors that there's some tension between Trey Young and head coach Nate McMillan. I hope not. Come on, guys. You know, it's almost like the parent and the child. Um, Stay in your lane, Trey. Stay in your lane. Coach is always coach, and you're always player. So I hope that's not the case. Nate's been doing a good job with that team. I mean, you guys are looking good, and it's been growing. So I hate to see that kind of thing, and I hope that that's not true. All right, moving on to our Atlanta Falcons. Now, Atlanta Falcons, whew, they suffered a season-ending loss with a devastating loss. Okay, but you know the Falcons with a new head coach and a new GM, we've got to see what they're going to be doing to get this Falcons team back on track. Now they've got some players that have really been standing out and really been working hard, but then they seem like they still got to have some holes that they need to fill. Now, I ain't one to gossip, and you ain't heard it from me. But if it's true, you did. I heard the Falcons may be looking to acquire quarterback Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson, now if you've been watching football, you know Lamar Jackson is the quarterback coming from the Baltimore Ravens. And Lamar is one of the most outstanding quarterbacks in the league. He runs, he passes, he's got a great arm, and that would be crazy. Now, not to take anything from Marcus Mariota, he looked really good out there this year. I love what he brought to the table for the Falcons. He gave him a good look, and then he got hurt, and I don't know how he'll heal over the offseason and come back next year. But I want to say to anybody that knows anything about football, if Lamar Jackson comes to the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is the happening town, as you all know. And if Lamar Jackson comes here, Falcons going to sell out, and the team is going to be, the city will be on fire because he brings that element of fantasticness that's kind of been missing a little bit. So, like I said, I ain't want to gossip, and you ain't heard it from me unless it's true. But we'll see what happens. Lamar Jackson. Hmm. Hmm. All right, moving on to our Atlanta Braves. Well, the Braves are getting ready for spring training. The Braves' Fred McGriff was elected to the Hall of Fame. Way to go, Fred. Hall of Fame. You know, Fred said it's like a dream come true. He says that his life has been very blessed and he's continued to get blessings, and this was another blessing. Congratulations to Mr. Fred McGriff for being selected to the Hall of Fame. And the Braves' longtime reliever, Old Day, retires after 15 seasons. Now, that's one thing I tell my young athletes about playing a professional sport. Play baseball. You can play for a long time. 15 seasons. Wow. And the Braves have also decided to keep Coach Snicker around for a while. They've extended his contract through 2025. And that's good because, again, you got to be able to develop some of these young players, and it takes a coach some time. They got to know that they have that time. The coach needs to be comfortable enough to know that, hey, I got time to do this. And Braves also get ex All-Star RHP Jimenez from the Tigers. That's going to be pretty good. You know, uh, They've got more moves coming, I'm pretty sure. It's still early in the off season. And like I said, they're getting ready for spring training. And we're going to keep our eye on our Atlanta Braves, our winning Atlanta Braves. And let's see what happens this year. You know, the Atlanta Braves never cease to amaze me. They'll start off really, really slow and end up in the playoffs. And they've been able to do that for the last few years. And even they, of course, they won the World Series. We know that they won that. So we want to keep an eye on them, and we'll be watching. Let's move on to our Atlanta United, the soccer team. It's a sad day for the United. We lose a superstar, Joseph Martinez. He was the star. He was like the LeBron James of the team, the Michael Jordan of the team, the Steph Curry of the team. And they lost him to Miami. After scoring 19 goals in his debut season, the former Toriano man finishes that season as MLS's top scorer and voted the league's MVP in 2018, following his then record of 31 regular season goals. Can you imagine 31 uh, goals in soccer? Soccer is tough. He also scored four more in the playoffs as Atlanta won the MLS Cup that year. And in 2019, he scored 27 goals. And then the opening game in 2020, Martinez tore his ACL, which ended his season for that year. He served Atlanta well while he was here, and I think he'll do well in Florida. Of course, he hasn't gotten back to that 2018 statue, but who goes back to their youthfulness that way? We wish him well, and he will truly be missed in the Atlanta market. But if you have never gone to Atlanta United game, if you want excitement, you don't want to sit down, you want to hear roaring through the whole game. It's an Atlanta United game. Go check them out because that's exactly what happened. And Mr. Martinez, we will be watching you down in Florida. Let's moving on to some hoop dreams, my Atlanta dreams. Um, of course, we're all happy that Brittany Griner came home, former WNBA player, after her incarceration in Russia. So we're excited about that. And excited to see what happens with her next. As I always say, is it a book deal? Is it a movie deal? I'm pretty sure being in jail in Russia was a movie. So hit me up, Brittany. Let's make it a movie. But the Atlanta Dream has extended their contracts of coach Miss Tanisha Wright and general manager Dan Padover through 2027 season as well. Now, Padover, a two-time WNBA Executive of the Year. All right, executive. So he's been doing it right for a while. I'm looking for really, really good things from him. And Wright says it doesn't matter if the player is a veteran or a rookie, as long as they play hard and they want to get better. Sounds like she wants to win. Sounds like the kind of coach I like. I love a coach who's a player, they're a player's coach. And that's what it sounds like she is. So I'm looking for the Atlanta Dream to have a really, really good season. And like I said, we're also going to be looking at those Falcons in the offseason. Let's see what's going to happen with Ms. Lamar Jackson, if that's going to happen. We're going to also be watching our Braves and see how they're going to make their comeback this year. And of course, our Atlanta United, they made some more trades, and there's more time. There's some other things going on. And Hawks, come on, Hawks. Come on, Hawks, you're in eighth place in the conference. You guys are looking good. I hope we can keep it that way. Love to see you guys get back to the playoffs and win. Come on, Trey. Let's get it together. Come on, guys. Let's get it together. And come on, Nate. Let's get it together. We've got a good team. We've got a really good look, and you guys keep it that way. And our fans, we're watching. We want to make sure that you keep it that way, that you keep that winning stature going on. We'll be praying for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for taking the time and watching Ladies in the Locker Room today. Again, it's ladies in the locker room at gmail.com. Send me a message. Let's talk about something. What do you want to talk about? Also, you can log in live on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. And you can watch the show, and you can also send me a message. Send me a message. Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if you have a family member that's a player. If you got pictures, send me some information. I'm always looking for new stories, and I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching Ladies in the Locker Room. Don't forget to follow us on IG. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. And you can see the show on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. We will see you next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And let's, like I said, we're going to be trying to get to the Super Bowl. The Pro Bowl was really nice last year in Las Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the Pro Bowl this year. Maybe, maybe. I always say, look, until they don't sell any more tickets, I'm still on my way there. So wish me luck. Until then, we'll see you next week. Again, thank you so much for watching Ladies in the Locker Room. We'll see you next time. Good night.